Previously on Fear the Walking Dead.
And this episode actually was just like a regular 42-minute episode as well too. So it was kind of, it wasn't extended by any means. It was just your regular 42-minute episode. Sarah lookalike, we like to joke. Virginia gets bit, and she's screaming, no, no, no. And it was kind of funny because when I was watching it, I was saying, yes, yes, yes. I'm not joking. Oh my god. Like, I don't know. I just instantly, like, felt bad. Next week, guys, if you guys don't know, is already the mid-season finale. Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. This is going to be doing my final review, unfortunately, for Fear the Walking Dead, the first half of Season 6, at least until we get our mid-season finale, our real mid-season finale. This one is going to be doing my review for Season 6, Episode 7, Damage from the Inside.
Which side of this are you on?
Okay guys, so this is going to be doing my last review, unfortunately, for this year for Fear the Walking Dead. This one's going to be for Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 7, which is called Damage from the Inside. So guys, it is going to be a while now, unfortunately, until we get to see this mid-season finale, the real mid-season finale, Episode 8, as well as getting to see the second half of the season, which are both probably all going to be together by next year, probably around the summer. Fear the Walking Dead will be back. You know, it's like, damn, like, I don't know. Now, this was such a good episode in my opinion. I really enjoyed this episode a lot, and I cannot wait to discuss this episode all the way through. So guys, of course, spoiler warning one last time. We're going to do this, of course, spoiler warning for Fear the Walking Dead, the mid-season finale, the replacement for the mid-season finale, which is Season 6, Episode 7, Damage from the Inside. Now, let's talk about this episode because I just cannot wait to get into it. So guys, after this, we will do a predictions for what we think is going to happen in the later episodes of this season, because I am definitely very excited to see it, and I'm very excited to see where they go with the story now that we are going to get to see a lot of our characters now go to where Morgan is. So that's going to be very exciting, and I can't wait to see that. Now, alright, so let's start from the top. We'll go through the end, and then we will discuss, and then, of course, I'll be back for the predictions right after this. So, okay, now this episode starts with, of course, a bunch of the Rangers getting killed in the road. You've got Dakota and Strand that, of course, are driving through, and I am going to go through this a little bit quick since we did talk about this in the opening minutes. But basically, we have Alicia and Charlie that have been out there for a while. It says that it's been 6 weeks, I think, that they've been out there, as far as what I think Alicia said, like, she's like, how long will we be out there? And then, you know, Charlie's like 6 weeks. So, something like that. And then basically Strand calls in for help. Of course, Strand doesn't know where Dakota is. She's kind of disappeared as we see the car crash. And basically, he wants to meet up with Alicia and Charlie in person. So, they do just that. And, of course, they go and look for Dakota. Now, they run into, of course, Alicia runs into first. She goes into this building, basically, and you have these walkers that have kind of been being worked on by this guy who is called Ed. Now, Alicia basically gets captured, tied up, and of course, it's really exciting as she's trying to kind of get her way out. And of course, you're kind of wondering, just along with Alicia, like, what is this place? What's going on here? And basically, we get the reveal that this guy actually has Dakota, and Dakota is at this place as well too. And that is when, of course, Alicia finds Dakota. Now, she wants to get her back, obviously, to Jenny, because that's the mission that Alicia is on at first in the episode. And we basically kind of have some more chill scenes here. They're playing chess. You kind of have some kind of relaxed scenes here and there. But I'm with Alicia. I'm with Alicia completely. She's just like, yeah, no, I'm investigating. I'm doing something here. I'm not just sitting down and taking this guy's crap, because you know full well something's up here. So, Alicia kind of starts investigating. It causes some conflict between the two. And, of course, some stuff kind of plays through. So Charlie sneaks in, of course, and Alicia kind of plots with Charlie, of course, and you know try to basically get Dakota back to Virginia. Now, basically in this episode, Alicia decides to not give Dakota back to Virginia. She basically decides that, you know what, I'm going to take her with me, and, you know, that type of thing, but she lies to Virginia. She says on the radio that, you know, as long, you know, I'm going to give you Dakota back, but as long as me and Charlie can kind of go. And, of course, Virginia is just like, she's like, well, where are you going to go? Like, all kind of like, you can't do anything, that type of thing. I'll hunt you down. Like, she's kind of basically saying, right, you know, she's kind of like, oh, well, I'll hunt you down, but, you know, in other their word. She's like, oh, well, where are you going to go, you know? And, of course, she thinks that they're going to give Dakota back. And, you know, then basically we get the reveal that, no, they're going to keep Dakota with them. And basically that's that. Now, in terms of Ed's character, so let's focus on him for a minute. So we did find out from him in this episode that his family was killed by Virginia, but let's also focus on the fact that we did get the confirmation from Dakota in this episode, which actually really did throw me off because I didn't expect him to go this route with it. Apparently, Dakota, she told Alicia in this episode that Virginia actually did kill their parents. And I'm just like, what? Like, you know, I mean, I knew Virginia was messed up. And here I was saying last episode, I'm like, I wonder if they're going to try to redeem Virginia, if they're going to try to kind of do some stuff like that. No, that's not the case at all. That's not what's going on. And, yeah, I don't know, guys. That was just crazy. So, basically, you've got the walkers, some really creative, interesting-looking walkers here, as we have basically them that are kind of coming in, and you've got Alicia versus Ed, of course, that goes down. Charlie kind of steps in here, and we get a bit of a fight with, you know, with all of them, but basically, in the end, he commits suicide with his walkers that kind of come towards him, and that is the end of Ed's character. So, I mean, okay, so that's you know, pretty interesting. And now it's just left to Alicia and the others, you know, where are they going to go, that type of thing. Now that Ed's dead, of course, you know, now that he's gone down, of course, he's committed suicide with his group of walkers. Basically, Alicia starts fighting them, and then we get a really, really great reunion scene where basically Alicia meets up with Morgan. So I was really happy to see that, and honestly, that is one of my favorite scenes of the episode, when Alicia meets up with Morgan. I thought that was a great scene, and honestly very very long awaited, to be honest. So basically, they, of course, hug, you know, they have a bit of a reunion scene, and Morgan is, you know, kind of, in this episode, it's kind of interesting, because then they talk, and then we have Morgan that basically tells Alicia that, listen, like, you know, like, I know you want to keep Dakota safe, but we could use her. Like, Morgan doesn't give a crap this season. Like, he does not care. He's like, you know, he's like, Dakota, well, we could use her, right? You know, so, I love this Morgan. I do. I love this kind of Morgan. However, I do agree with Alicia. I do. I agree with Alicia that Dakota, I personally do at this point trust Dakota. I do trust her, and I am more on Alicia's side of things when it comes to this. You know, because Alicia kind of got a little territorial with Dakota there for a minute against Morgan, when he's like, you know, well, you know, we could use Dakota, Alicia, that type of thing, you know, and you know, we could trade for some of our people. You know, that's Virginia's sister. If I can use Dakota to get the rest of our people out, and maybe Grace, and it's kind of sad too, because he's like, I don't even know if she's had the kid or what, like, what's going on. He doesn't know anything like that. So, unfortunately, Alicia kind of turns on Morgan, and then, you know, things kind of work itself out as Morgan decides, no, you know what, I've been waiting this whole time, I've been trying to get all of you, you know, back together, and what is that going to do if you walk off now? I can't let you walk off. So, Alicia kind of cools down a bit, so does Morgan, and they kind of, you know, they're kind of good. Now, Strand shows up. So, Strand, man, I don't know, I was really frustrated with Strand in this episode. So, he basically, in this one, Morgan, which I love this. You know, Alicia finds Dakota, of course, with Charlie, and then he's like, oh, well, give me Dakota back. And then she stands in the way, and then Morgan comes out, right? And it's just like, oh, man. And then Strand points the gun. As Alicia has her weapon up, Morgan has his up, and Strand decides to kind of, you know, put the gun down and kind of, you know, I guess just kind of walk away. So, which I liked, because I was like, please don't tell me that this episode is going to go to, like, where they have to kill Strand or something, or Strand kills, like, one of them. I was like, no, I don't think Morgan or Alicia is going to die, but I was like, are they going to be forced to kill Strand? Like, is that going to be a big moment that goes down in this episode? I don't know. It seemed like it was going that way for a minute, but he leaves and then basically goes to Virginia, and she's like, well, like, you know, like, she's like, what side of this are you on? You know, like, and then as soon as he mentions Morgan, like, you know, Dakota went with Morgan, Alicia, and she's like, what? Like, she just freaks right out. So, Strand is kind of in a dangerous position, I think, at this point, after just kind of saying to Virginia, like, oh yeah, they took Dakota, that type of thing. It's like, yeah, be careful. Like, seriously, be careful. So, basically, you know, the ending of the episode is, which, okay, I know a lot of people, before we even discuss the ending, let's talk about the simple fact that a lot of people thought that Madison would return in this episode. I shut that theory down right away, and why? There you go. That's why. Because we had nothing, right? We had nothing from Madison, and we had the stadium mentioned, you know, because Alicia thought that maybe she'd maybe, you know, she goes with Morgan, but she had the original idea to go back to the stadium and rebuild it or something. I'm like, okay. But Madison didn't return, and that's the one thing, and I'm just going to acknowledge this quick, because I know there was a lot of theories in this one that a lot of people were like, oh, is Madison going to return for this episode? I'm like, guys, she's not going to return. I said it very clearly, and, you know, honestly, here we go. But we did get a return at the end of this episode. We get to see Grace. So, ouch, man, that's crazy. So she's pregnant. Obviously, we can see she's probably getting pretty close to actually having the kid. And, you know, basically Virginia at the end of the episode, as we see, you know, Grace, she's like, I want every damn person from that we took from that gulch. It's just like, oh my goodness, like, calm down. So, the look on her face, too, and she's like, I want everybody we took from that gulch. It's like, okay, like, chill out. So, yeah, so that is basically the episode. So we've got Grace at the end. I was waiting to see her, so I was very happy to see that. You know, some mentions of maybe wanting to go back to the stadium, but it looks like Alicia and the others are going to go with Morgan, with Dakota. I don't know if Morgan, I feel like Morgan, though, just kind of said that we'll take Dakota. And I wonder if maybe if there's the right time, if Morgan's going to do something to Dakota. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't feel like 100% confident that Morgan's just going to keep his word on that about Dakota and about this whole thing. So, I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that. I got to be honest. But, Ed's character, I found him to be pretty interesting. I did like the walkers and the stuff with him in this episode. Pretty intense when Alicia was tied up, and definitely the stuff with Grace at the end was absolutely crazy as we see Victor, you know, kind of see her along with us for the first time. And like, she's like, I want everybody from that gulch. I'm just like, yeah, okay, woman. So that is basically that. And yeah, Alicia and the others are going to be going with Morgan along with Dakota. Like I said, I don't know if Morgan's going to keep his word the whole time about keeping Dakota safe. So that remains to be seen. But guys, I'm so sad. Like, I'm so sad that this is the last episode. Like, I'm just in a position right now, I'm just like, oh, man, I've reviewed Fear the Walking Dead episode 7. Darn it, guys. We got nothing left now. So, we got World Beyond, so we'll be back for that next week. But, guys, let's take an opportunity, okay? Now that we've reviewed all the episodes, let's take an opportunity to just say, this has been an absolutely amazing season of Fear the Walking Dead. This has been a great season, and I can only imagine where the actual mid-season finale is going to go with the second half of the season along with that. Guys, I've enjoyed this season of Fear, okay? I just want to say that. I've enjoyed this season of Fear so much, and the Fear the Walking Dead videos are not going to stop during the break. I've decided. I'm like, you know what? We have way too many things to talk about for Fear just to drop it for all these months. We're gonna do some videos like every week or two at least. Once we get far in the break, we'll touch in on Fear because I'm just so interested in the show right now, guys. This was an absolutely amazing mid-season finale. I didn't set my expectations high for Madison, so that's why I'm not disappointed at all. And seeing Grace at the end, it sealed the deal for me. I was like, man, this is a great episode. Alicia's going to be going with Morgan now. A lot of the group is kind of coming together. Dwight and Althea are obviously at this place right now, and I can only imagine what episode 8 is going to look like, guys. I just can't wait. And they were actually in the middle of filming it, too, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how episode 8 looks like with kind of some scenes that were filmed back in March, and then some scenes that were filmed, like, just recently, like at the end of this year. So I'm just like, man, that's gonna look very interesting. But I'm very excited to see the rest of these episodes here, guys. What are your thoughts? So time to rate this episode. Out of 10, I would give this episode a 9.5. Right? I think that's a good rating. I think a 9.5 is a good rating for this episode. It was darn good. I mean, we saw a lot of things. Grace, Morgan, meet Alicia again. Ed was an interesting character. Strand is still really just on a crazy path right now. And just such a great kind of wrap up. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm just so hyped to see where the rest of these episodes go. When we see them, I can't wait. But that is it for Fear of the Walking Dead, guys. Unfortunately, that is it for the Fear of the Walking Dead reviews for this year, guys. For the 2020 reviews of Fear of the Walking Dead, that is it, guys. So, anyway, leave some comments. What did you think about this first half of Fear of the Walking Dead? Overall, what did you think about it? I definitely want to hear from you guys. Of course, guys, if you're new here, click the subscribe button so you send my videos for Fear of the Walking Dead. Follow Dan's Walking Reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for predictions for the rest of the episodes of this season. That's going to be coming up as well. But, of course, that is it for this video, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Anybody out there?